Hello, I'm Stella and I am the lighting designer for this production. Did diploma back a few years ago on technical theatre, and then I decided, oh, I'll do lighting, and that's where I am now. It's gonna sound really like cliche, but the beauty of just looking at light and shadow and how it moves in its natural form is interesting to me and intriguing to me. And when I started working in theatre, then I found out that you could do this as a job, and I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I usually start first and foremost like with a conversation with the director usually, or like with the team of people who ask me on board the production, and be like, so what's this piece about, and like get a gist of it, like a sense of what the work is about. And then I look at the script, because that's where the heart of the piece is based on. If it's not a script, then like a piece of music or whatever that the work is growing from. So for this production, for example, it's the script. So look through the script and then get a sense of it, and then break it down. So what type, the locations, the times, the characters in it, and then go from there. My favorite part of like lighting design is usually when we get into the theatre and we start plotting and everything sort of comes together and start creating looks in the space. That's like for me the most like exciting and thrilling bit of the job that I like. I guess what keeps me interested and like hooked on to like the whole concept of designing like for theatre space is trying to reproduce what you see in real life, like in terms of lighting, and then having to recreate that, but with like a different touch. Because you can't bring the sun into a theatre space, for example, but lighting designers try to emulate that. But because it can't feel like light, it can't feel like the sun, so we get to have a certain amount of creativity to play with that. Do you know what I mean? Manipulate the way we want the space to look. So that for me is always like very fun and challenging and exciting. I think it's cool that like the company tries to bring the backstage forward to people, and bring the experience then changes and becomes different for a theatre goer. Like it's not just about looking at the product on stage, but also having a certain amount of knowledge of what is going on backstage, which then heightens the appreciation for the work, I think. For now, like conceptually, I'm thinking more like about contrast and starkness, and maybe adding a bit more gobos. Like after today's production, I think the visual aesthetic of it is a bit more clear to me. Gobo is this thing that you put through a light, usually like a fixture. Usually we use like these things called profile lights, and then it's a pattern cutout that we can slot into a light, and then it will cast like shadows. So you can make your own gobos, or you can buy gobos. There are many different types of patterns. It's basically like a thing to help you create patterns on stage with light.